Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start the new chapter, that is chapter 2 of your textbook, that is patterns. Fine. In the last class we have discussed about the workbook and we have completed the workbook section of the first chapter, that is chapter 1. So we can say that we have already completed the chapter 1, and after that I will give you one exact date when we will have the you can say chapter test for that particular chapter 1. Now students, today we are going to start the new chapter, that is patterns, and chapter number 2. So before starting students, let us see what are the objectives in this particular chapter and what the keywords we are going to get in this chapter. So if you see students, everything is written here. I will click a picture of this and I will send it to you so that you can write down this in your school copy. Now students, please let us see how you have to write down in your copy. That also is very important. First of all, you will write down on a new page, that is chapter number 2, that is patterns, the date, today's date, that is 18th, and then we will have to write the objective, that is what we are going to learn in this particular chapter. The learning objective of this particular chapter will be these 3 basic objectives that we are going to learn. That is to learn about patterns in lines and shapes. That is what pattern is actually you already got in class 3 also. Fine. So we are going to write down, we are going to learn few more things about patterns in lines and shapes. Then second one, the next objective is about line and axis of symmetry. That is what is line of symmetry, or we can say axis of symmetry, that also we are going to learn. And then number C, that is the third objective, that is growing and reducing pattern. That is there are different types of patterns in that is increasing pattern, or we say growing pattern, or decreasing pattern also. So that we are going to learn in the third topic. Then the keywords for this chapter will be patterns. The first word that we are going to, it's the most important word of this chapter, the name of the chapter itself, that is patterns. So that is the first keyword that we are going to get. Then there will be 2 words, that is finite and infinite. Now finite and infinite, what it is, we are going to discuss whenever we will come to this topic. Then line of symmetry is there, and then mirror line. So what are these keywords that we will discuss it one by one as soon as we will get the topic. So we are going to do in that way. Fine students. So let us start the topic now. I will give a click a picture of this and I will send, and that will be your classwork. Please write down this before starting the chapter. Fine. And now we are going to start the topics properly. Now students, pattern, if we see what pattern is. In class 3 we have got already about patterns. As you remember a little bit, I will just give a reminder of that thing, that patterns are some kind of, you can say, arrangement in a particular way. That arrangement of the arrangement may be of some numbers or maybe of some shapes also. Fine. But ultimately patterns are actually, it's a order. That means in a particular order the things are arranged. So that we will call as a pattern. Now students, if you see, it is written, if you please take your textbook right now so that at least you can follow with me also. That is in page number 14. In page number 14 you can see I recall. That means what we have done in the last class, the last year in the pattern chapter. That is written, an arrangement of figures or designs in a certain way is called pattern. That means it's a design or it's an arrangement in a certain way. There is a rule that we say in general. So in that way it should be arranged. Fine. So if you remember a little bit of that pattern, so say numbers, if we say 2, 4, 6, 8, say 1, 3, 5, 7, say 10, 20, 30. So these numbers, if you see, they are repeated in a they are arranged in a specific order or in a particular way it is arranged. Fine. So that is why these all are called patterns, and we know these patterns are called number patterns, students, because patterns, there are different types of patterns we can arrange. If you see the things around you also, students, you will be able to see so many patterns around yourself. If you have seen the window grill, the window grills are also, you can say, a pattern, because that is arranged in a particular way. Similarly, if you have seen any you can say bed sheet or tablecloth also, there will be some designs which are actually repeated one after another in a particular way. So there are so many example of patterns around us, students, so that we can see and understand, and that we have already learned last year also. Fine. Now these are some example of number pattern. There are example of shape pattern also, that means related to shapes also. Fine, that you already got triangle, square, rectangle, how they are arranged in a particular way. Fine. Now students, if you see, let us come to the topic of in the page number 15, what is written here. There are some different types of patterns we will get. First is natural pattern. Now students, natural pattern is what? The patterns that we see in the nature. Nobody have made it. It is not artificial. It is naturally it is created, and those type of patterns are called natural patterns. Now students, you see the book, you can see the flower. The flower, the petals are arranged in a particular order. If you see, there is a, you can say leopard. Now the leopard is actually, it is the design of the skin, on the skin of the flower, you can say. It's also a pattern that is arranged in a particular order. Fine. Then the honeybee, then the wooden block. So all these, you can see some arrangements are there, and these arrangement or patterns we can see in our natural world. Fine. So that's why these are called natural patterns. Then after that comes man-made patterns, or you can say artificial patterns. Artificial patterns means those patterns where it is made by human. It's not natural. So let us take, say, you can say some of the designs. Say this is a, you can say a carpet is designed like this. There is a wall where we arrange the bricks in a particular way. Then you can say this arrangement of the wooden blocks. Okay, so that is the boundary of any surrounding that has been made in this way. Fine. And this grill, that is the window, or the window grill, you can say, or gate, which is arranged in a particular way or in a order. So these designs are actually called the patterns, which are actually human made now, because these are made by humans. They are not natural. Now the next is patterns in lines and shapes. Now patterns in lines and shapes means, students, say we can create pattern using some line or shape. Now if you see, say suppose if I draw one vertical line, then another line I am drawing like this. Again I draw a vertical line, then again I draw the same drawing. So it will continue like this. So students, you can see these are all not numbers, these are lines. So with the help of lines also we can create patterns. So this is an example of that pattern pattern which is made by lines or shapes. Now in the picture also you can see there is a picture given. There is a, it's not a rectangle actually because the corners are cut. Then again there is a L shape of figure. Then again there is a you can say that same rectangular shape is repeated. Then again that L shape is repeated. So now these are patterns where shapes and lines are involved. Fine students. So we can create patterns in that way also. The next one, that what I said in the beginning, that is number patterns. Number patterns means, students, where numbers are involved and the numbers are arranged in a very specific order. Say if I give an example, say 5, 10, 15, 20, like this. So these all are what, students? These all are numbers which are arranged in a particular way. Now how it is arranged? Say 5, first number you take, add 5 with this. So what you will get? The next number, 10. Then this 10, again you add 5, you will get what? The next number, that is 15. 15 you add with 5 again, then you will get what? 20, which is the next number. So that means with every number we are adding 5 and we are getting the next number. So this is an example of, you can say, number pattern. Okay, we last year we got even patterns, odd patterns. That means where the even numbers are arranged. Okay, the even numbers that I have written already, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then odd patterns, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So these are odd numbers. So these type of patterns we already came through in the last year also. So that's okay. So these even and odd patterns we already are familiar with this thing. Now here there is a very important topic, that is the keyword that I say, that is what is finite and infinite. Now student, please see this. Once we know the rule, we can continue a pattern any number of times or endlessly. Patterns that end after a few terms are called finite patterns, and those that do not end are called infinite patterns. Now students, this is important. finite and infinite. I will give an example. Now finite pattern, what are finite pattern? If I say finite patterns, say suppose I am creating one pattern of my own choice, say 3, 9, then you can say 12, 15, then you can say 18. And I have not written any more on this. 3, sorry, it will not be 3, there will be one more number will come in between, that is 3 and 6. Okay. Now you see, the first is what? 3, then 6, then 9, 12, 15, 18. Can you tell how it is arranged? Yes, it is arranged when we are adding 3 with the number. That means 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 3, 15, 15 plus 3, 18. But student, is it going here? No, it has been stopped at 18. It is not going anymore. So this is also a pattern, but the number of terms in this pattern are limited, or you can say they are ended here. These type of patterns are known as finite patterns, where the terms are ended. They are not endlessly going on. Next, I will give an example which will be opposite to this, that is infinite pattern. Infinite patterns. Now what will be infinite pattern, students? Say if I am taking one example of a pattern, say like if I take 4, then 8, then 12, then 16, then 20, then I have put some dot here. You know the rule now. If you see this pattern, it is very easy. 4, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 4, 16, 16 plus 4, 20. But does it stop here? No, it is continuously going on. It has not been stopped. The next number will come 24, then will come 28, then will come 32. So like that it will go on. Students, here since the pattern is not ended here, it is continuously going. That is why this pattern will be known as infinite patterns. Now the word finite means where it is limited. Finite means where it has an end. That is called finite. Infinite means where there is no end, which is continuously or endlessly going on. That is called infinite. So these two are, you can say, perfect example of finite pattern and infinite pattern. If there is no continuation, that pattern will be known as finite pattern, and where the continuation goes on, there you can say that is an infinite pattern. So the keyword, that two keyword we got, finite and infinite, now we already came to know in this particular topic itself. Fine. So that is about finite and infinite patterns. Now student, last year we got one more topic, that is about, you can say, okay, if I say not about last year, if I say something like this, that we know the mirror. Fine. We see ourselves in the mirror in a day for many of the times. Fine. So now you tell me one thing, when you see yourself in the mirror, how you see yourself, how you look? You look something like, it is called laterally inverted, that is the left hand looks right hand and right hand looks left hand, like that. Fine. Say suppose if I have put the letter B and I have put a mirror in front of this. Say this line is called, this is a mirror, you can consider. This is a mirror. How this will look like in the mirror? Say this is the original B I am taking. How the image will form here? It will look like something like this. Isn't it? The B will look like this in the mirror. This is called a reflection. We know that. What is a reflection? The image that we see in the mirror, that is known as the reflection. Now the reflection does not look the same always, fine, because whenever we are putting it like this, it will look like this. This is laterally inverted. We call laterally inversion or laterally inverted image we see. This is known as the mirror line. That means we can say this line is known as the mirror line. Okay, fine. So students, you can see it's already written here in the page, only page number 16, after the finite and infinite pattern. Patterns can be linear, circular, symmetrical. Linear patterns can be vertical or horizontal. We know that when an object is placed in front of a mirror, we see its reflection. That is the thing that I said just now. The reflection looks like the same as the object. It looks like the same as the object, but the thing is, it looks like laterally inverted. We see reflection in mirrors, water and shiny surfaces. Observe the given figures. You can see these figures, these lines which are given. Now here the line is vertical. Sometimes we may give a horizontal also. Say suppose this capital letter M. If I put a mirror here, how it will look like? If you see, it will look like something like this. Inverted. Fine. So that is shown in the picture also. You can see there that how the reflection will look like. Then again there is another one, that is two figures are joined, and these two figures, they have given two reflection line are there. Two mirror lines are there. One is vertical, one is horizontal. Fine. So in these figures, the part on one side of the dotted line looks the same as that on the other side. Thus the dotted line is like a mirror and is called the mirror line. So this line will be known as the mirror line. Fine, student. Sometimes a figure may have a vertical, sometimes it may have a horizontal, sometimes it may have both mirror lines. Each part is a reflection of the other across the mirror line. So this line is also called the line of reflection. So this we call also line of reflection. That means this picture, this line is actually called mirror lines, but it is also called line of reflection. Fine. So students, today we have discussed these few things, which is actually you can say a starting point for you for the chapter pattern. So we are going to discuss more on this because we have just started the topic. In the next class we will discuss from the page number 16 only, that is I remember and understand. This topic that I have just told you, this is about the introduction of this chapter. Fine. So we have discussed what is pattern, that how patterns are actually arranged, that we have seen. Then how different types of patterns we have seen, that is natural pattern is there, artificial pattern, man-made pattern is there. Then patterns in lines and shapes, then patterns in numbers we have seen. And in patterns in numbers we have seen finite and infinite patterns. That means which is ended, that is finite pattern, which is not ended, that is endlessly going on, that is infinite patterns. Fine. And lastly we also came to know about the mirror reflection. That means the line of reflection or the mirror line, that what it is called. Fine. So students, I will start from the next class, the next topic, that is I remember and understand. Fine. And the classwork that I said, that you please write it down. Okay, few important points from the classwork I also will write down and click a picture and I will send it to you. Fine. And I will give a small homework also after the video, and that homework you have to submit me on time. Fine, student. So let us conclude today, and in the next class we will start from the remaining part. Okay. Thank you.